It's the Tutor here. Just recently we found out more cards that were announced for the new Avatar Last Airbender set coming out this November. I thought it'd be fun to go through all these cards one by one and just talk about them a little bit. Nothing too fancy, just quickly go through the cards. And big shout out to this user for the wallpaper that I'm using for the background here. So we're going to start off with mono white cards. We have Airbender Ascension, which is a 2-cost enchantment. When this creature enters, airbend up to one target creature. Whenever a creature you control enters, put a quest counter on this enchantment. At the beginning of your end step, if this enchantment has 4 or more quest counters on it, exile up to one target creature you control, then return to the battlefield under its owner's control. I do love the artwork between Appa and Aang right there, and just Aang kind of, airbending is really cool. Then we have Water Tribe Rallier, which is a 2-cost creature, human soldier ally. With Waterbend 5, look at the top 4 cards of your library. You may reveal a creature card with power 3 or less from among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. We also have Yip Yip, which is an instant lesson. A target creature you control gets +2/+2 until end of turn. If that creature is an ally, it also gains flying until end of turn. Now if you actually look behind the card with the print, that's the Air Nomad kind of logo symbol, and then all of this is a white card. They do have like the Water Tribe logo right there too, which looks really cool. So we also have Momo Friendly Flyer, which is a 1-cost legendary creature, lemur bat ally with flying. The first non-lemur creature spell with flying you cast during each of your turns costs 1 less to cast. Whenever another creature you control with flying enters, Momo gets +1/+1 until end of turn. We also have Release of Memory. Now you'll see a bunch of these kind of cards that I'm going to be showing you today. I think these are just screenshots of an episode in Avatar Last Airbender. Let me know down in the comments if I'm wrong, but there's some gnarly ones. This one is Released Memory, which is a 4-cost instant. Exile target opponent's graveyard. For each creature card exiled this way, create a 1/1 colorless spirit creature token. And how could we not talk about Avatar Last Airbender without Sokka, the Swordmaster, with his moon sword right there. It's a 3-cost legendary creature, human warrior ally, with vigilance. Equipment spells you cast cost 1 less to cast for each ally you control. At the beginning of combat on your turn, attach up to 1 target equipment you control to Sokka. Now we have Mono Blue. We have Gran, which is a 1-cost legendary creature, human peasant ally. Whenever Gran becomes tapped, draw a card and then discard a card. Non-creature spells you cast cost 1 less to cast as long as there are 3 or more lesson cards in your graveyard. And there's a bunch of different lessons in this set. So we also have Honest Work right here. This is a 1-cost enchantment, aura, enchant creature and opponent controls. When this aura enters, tap enchanted creature, remove all counters from it. Enchanted creatures lose all abilities and is a citizen with base power and toughness 1/1, and tap add a colorless named Humble Merchant. And it loses all other creature types and names. So we also have a bunch of different avatars that were showcased. This is Avatar Kirik. This is a saga. Now these are kind of all artworks you can get. Please click on the link in the description for where I got these cards, and you'll be able to actually see where you can get each and every single individual card. This is the Legend of Kuruk, which is a saga, 4-cost. Scry 2, then draw a card. Exile this saga, return it to the battlefield transformed under your control, and when it transforms, it becomes Avatar Kirik, or Kuruk. Legendary creature avatar. Whenever you cast a spell, create a 1/1 colorless spirit creature token with this token can't block or be blocked by non-spirit creatures. Then we have Exhaust with the Waterbend 20. Take an extra turn after this one. Then we also have that different artwork there, which looks really cool. We don't know too much about him from the show, but I'm not sure about the comics, but looks like a really cool looking avatar. I love his drip with the polar bear outfit. Then we have North Pole Patrol, which is a 3-cost creature, human soldier ally. With tap, untap another target permanent you control, and has Waterbend 3. My bad. We have Secret of Bloodbending, which is a 4-cost sorcery lesson. As an additional cost to cast a spell, you may Waterbend 10. You control target opponent during their next combat phase. If the spell's additional cost was paid, you control that player during their next turn instead. And that's just kind of like a very insane effect, and it seems like waterbending is going to be very simple to do. And let's take a look at just this artwork right here. It looks super cool. You have like the younger version of, I think her name was Hama, something along those lines, and yeah, the younger version where her controlling the rats during the Fire Nation's ship. Then you also have just her older version when she's facing off against Katara during the full moon. It looks really cool. And if you notice, both of them have lesson, and you actually see in the top left corner, you have that kind of scroll with a feather that indicates that it's a lesson. Really cool card. Then we have Tiger Seal, which is a creature cat seal. It's a 1-cost with vigilance. At the beginning of your upkeep, tap this creature. Whenever you draw your second card each turn, untap this creature. Just look at this guy, this little tiger cub right here, looks super cool. And I can't read these things, so let me know if you can, or if this is like avatar language, or if this is actually a language out there. Curious to know what you guys say. And then we have Wan Shi Tan Librarian. Legendary creature, bird spirit, flash, flying, vigilance. When Wan Shi Tan enters, put X +1/+1 counters on him, then draw half X cards rounded down. Whenever an opponent searches their library, put a +1/+1 counter on Wan Shi Tan and draw a card. And this is really cool. This kind of mirrors a little bit the Tiger Seal cub. I mean, you have like the leg right here, which is part of, you know, his body, and then over here you have his neck and eye and claw. Looks kind of cool that they kind of mirrored that. And of course he's in his library on both of these right here, and looks really cool. Then we have Force Negation, one of these other screenshots I think of the show, which is a 3-cost instant. If it's not your turn, you may exile a blue card from your hand rather than pay this spell's mana cost. Counter target non-creature spell. If that spell is countered this way, exile it instead of putting it into its owner's graveyard. We have Ristic Memora, of course, with the Yin and Yang fish. It's a 1-cost enchantment, cumulative upkeep 1. Whenever an opponent casts a non-creature spell, you may draw a card unless that player pays 4. Then we have a different version of Wan Shi Tan. This is Wan Shi Tan All-Knowing, which is a 5-cost legendary creature, bird spirit. Flying, when Wan Shi Tan enters, target non-land permanent owner puts it into their library, second from the top or on the bottom. Whenever one or more cards are put into a library from anywhere, create 2 1/1 colorless spirit creature tokens with this token can't block or be blocked by non-spirit creatures. Then we have Mono Black, and if you know, you know why I included this screenshot. We have Azula on the Hunt, which is a 4-cost legendary creature human noble with firebending 2. Whenever Azula attacks, you lose 1 life and create a clue token. And she has like this kind of really cool, really interesting line on the very bottom. You can run, but I'll catch you. Man, she's obsessive. So yeah. Let me know down too if this creature's been in the Avatar Last Airbender show. I know the one assassin that chased after them due to the smell was a completely different creature. So, and Azula didn't even touch it at all. So, curious to know what that is. Then we have Boiling Rock Rider. 3-cost creature human rogue ally with firebending 1. Tap and untap ally you control. Exile target card from a graveyard. Whenever this creature attacks, you may cast an ally spell from one card you own exiled with this creature. Then we have Day of Black Sun, which is really cool. We got Sozin here, and then the sun, of course. Sorcery, each creature with mana value X or less loses all abilities until end of turn. Destroy those creatures. And then the Solar Eclipse robbed firebenders of their ability to firebend, giving Team Avatar an 8-minute window to storm the capital and defeat the Fire Lord. Then we have the Fire Nation Drill, which I like the different art right there, kind of showcasing diagram of what it entails. But it's a 4-cost legendary artifact vehicle with trample. When the Fire Nation Drill enters, you may tap it. When you do, destroy target creature with power 4 or less. By spending 1 permanence your opponent control, lose hexproof and indestructible until end of turn. Crew 2, which is a very interesting effect. I'm not sure if there's too many cards out there that destroy indestructible effects, but that is the Fire Nation Drill. And then we have Cruelty Tutor, which may be the craziest looking artwork of all time. Just a close-up, I think, of just Ozai's face. Sorcery, search your library for a card, then shuffle and put that card on top. You lose 2 life, which is just, this is a weird looking derpy card. Then we have Azula Ruthless Firebender. So this is when she's all crazy. It looks like 3-cost legendary creature, human noble with firebending 1. Whenever Azula attacks, you may discard a card. Then you get an experience counter for each player who discarded a card this turn. By spending 3, you can, until end of turn, Azula gets +1/+1 for each experience counter you have and gains Menace. Alright, so we're on to Mono Red, and as you can imagine, we have quite a few Mono Red cards just because of, Fire Nation being a very pivotal point in the Avatar Last Airbender due to them attacking everyone, essentially. Then we have Cave of Two Lovers, Secret Tunnel, love Secret Tunnel, but it is a saga. Create 2 1/1 white ally creature tokens, search your library for a mountain or cave card, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle, then you have Earthbend 3. Then we have Crescent Island Temple, which is a 4-cost legendary enchantment shrine. When Crescent Island Temple enters, for each shrine you control, create a 1/1 red monk creature token with prowess. Whenever another shrine you control enters, create a 1/1 red monk creature token with prowess. And you also have Cunning Maneuver, which is a 2-cost instant. Target creature gets +3/+1 until end of turn, and you can create a clue token. Then we have Firebending Student, and there's 3 different artworks for this, which is kind of interesting. And you have kind of the younger version of her, and then the older version, and then the adult version. I'm pretty sure, but it looks really cool. I like the artwork for all these because it looks like she's just starting out, then she's using more complicated maneuvers like that, and then she's being like a master. But all these guys have creature, human, monk, prowess, and then Firebending X, where X is this creature's power. Then we have Agni Kai, the last Agni Kai, which is a 2-cost instant. Target creature you control fights target creature an opponent controls. If the creature the opponent controls is dealt excess damage, this way add that much red. Until end of turn, you don't lose unspent red mana as steps and phases end, which is cool. And then you also have this alternate artwork for the last Agni Kai, which we'll get into that later, but I love this art. It looks super, super cool. Then, of course, just like we have the water avatar, we have Roku. This is a saga for 4-cost. Exile the top 3 cards of your library. Until the end of your next turn, you may play those cards. Add 1 mana of any color. Exile the saga, then return it to the battlefield transformed under your control as Firebending 4. By spending 8, you can create a 4/4 red dragon creature token with flying and firebending. So that's really cool. You can kind of just tell that Roku's just super, like, his wisdom, it kind of shows off in all of these artworks. It's super cool. Then you have Ran and Shaw, and we all know who these dragons are, and I love just the artwork. Again, we're seeing the claw, teeth, just the body parts of them. Look super cool, but they're a legendary creature, dragon, with flying, firebending 2. When Ran and Shaw enter, if you cast them and there are 3 or more dragons and or lesson cards in your graveyard, create a token that's a copy of Ran and Shaw, except it's not legendary. And by spending 4, dragons you control get +2/+0 until end of turn. Then we have another lesson card, which is Solstice Revelations. It's a 3-cost instant. Exile cards from the top of your library until you exile a non-land card. You may cast that card without paying its mana cost if the spell's mana value is less than the number of mountains you control. If you don't cast that card this way, put it into your hand. Flashback 7. Then we have Sozin's Comment, which is a 5-cost sorcery. Each creature you control gains Firebending 5 until end of turn, and has Foretell of 2. Then we have Warbloom, which is a 3-cost artifact vehicle with flying. By spending 1, you can put a fire counter on this vehicle. As long as this vehicle has 3 or more fire counters on it, it's an artifact creature. It has Screw 3. We also have Fated Firepower, which is a enchantment. Flash, this enchantment enters with X fire counters on it. If a source you control would deal damage to an opponent or a permanent opponent controls, it deals that much damage plus an amount of damage equal to that number of fire counters on this enchantment instead. Then we have Fire Nation attacks, which is really cool because, I mean, they're definitely not in their environment right now. It looks like they're in the middle of like the ocean, or they're attacking waterbenders or something. Not sure, but these could be Fire Nation buildings right here. I'm not really sure. But instant, create 2 2/2 red soldier creature tokens with Firebending 1 and has Flashback for 9. Then we have Avatar Roku Firebender, which is a 6-cost legendary creature, a human avatar. Whenever a player attacks, add 6 red until end of combat. You don't lose this mana as at step's end. By spending 3, target creature gets +3/+0 until end of turn. Then we have my boy Fane, Roku's companion. He's a super cool looking dragon. He's a 5-cost legendary creature. But flying, whenever Fane attacks, another target legendary creature you control gets +X+0 until end of turn, where X is Fane's power. When Fane dies, if it wasn't a spirit, return this card to the battlefield under your control. He's a spirit in addition to his other types. Kind of surprised he doesn't have partner, considering Roku's his partner, but maybe it would just be too good then. Then we also have Zuko, Firebending Master, which is a 2-cost legendary creature, human noble ally with First Strike. Firebending X, where X is the number of experience counters you have. Whenever you cast a spell during combat, you get an experience counter. And we also have Fury Confluence, which is a 4-cost sorcery, choose 3. You may choose the same mode more than once. It deals 1 damage to each creature, 2 damage to each opponent, or destroy target artifact, and I like the flexibility of this card. Let's take a look at Mono Green. Not too many, but there are like a dozen or so. We have Allies at Last, which is a 3-cost instant, affinity for allies. Up to 2 target creatures you control each deal damage equal to their power to target creature an opponent controls. Also, you have this Badger Mole Cub. Again, look at the claws right here, the skull, and just the uniqueness of this creature, which looks really cute too. 2-cost creature Badger Mole. When this creature enters, Earthbend 1. Whenever you tap a creature for mana, add an additional green instead. Then you have Recycle Renewal, which is a 3-cost instant lesson. Sacrifice a land, search your library for up to 2 basic land cards, put them on the battlefield tapped, then shuffle. And I like the flavor of this card. I mean, this land right here was completely destroyed in that one episode by the Fire Nation, and we come across at the end of the episode, you know, there's acorns, and that means the forest is going to regrow back. And I mean, look at the bottom of the card, the acorns are ever aimed, that means the forest will grow back. Then we have Invasion Tactics, which is a 5-cost enchantment. When this enchantment enters, creatures you control get +2/+2 until end of turn. Whenever one or more allies you control deal combat damage to a player, draw a card. So some really good draw card synergy right there. Then rest in peace to Iroh's old actor, voice actor. He was incredible. This is one of the most, I think, memorable moments in the entire show. And it was a great episode, to be honest. And I mean, I'm glad they paid homage to the voice actor. So this is a saga, mill 3 cards, then create a food token, put a +1/+1 counter on each of up to 2 target creatures you control, then you can draw a card if there's a creature or lesson card in your graveyard, which there's going to be. Then we have Seismic Sense, which is a 1-cost sorcery lesson. Look at the top X cards of your library, where X is the number of lands you control. You may reveal a card or a land card from among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. Then you have her right there, kind of just using her feet to sense the vibrations of the earth, which is something we kind of know about her from day one. And it's one of the reasons why she calls Aang Twinkle Toes, because when he was fighting her, he was gliding in the air, so she couldn't feel the vibrations. Then we have Sparring Dummy. I don't even know where this comes from, but looks cool. Artifact creature Scarecrow with Defender. Mill a card. You may put a land card milled this way into your hand. You gain 2 life if a lesson card is milled this way. Then we have the Banyan Tree, which is a 9-cost, the Great, also known as the Great Henge, legendary artifact. This spell costs X less to cast, where X is the greatest power among creatures you control. By tapping 2, you can add green, you gain 2 life. Whenever a non-token creature you control enters, put a +1/+1 counter on it and draw a card. Then we have Heroic Intervention, which is a 2-cost instant permanence. You control, gain hexproof and indestructible until end of turn. Curious that this is a green, but whatever. I'm not sure exactly where this is. I'm going to assume it is when Zuko faced off against the Zula and the Agni Kai, based on just like the background and how serious he looks and whatnot. Then we have another avatar. We have Avatar Kyoshi, and she might be ranked higher than some of the other avatars just because of how popular she is. Let me know down below if you like Avatar Kyoshi more than I personally like her more than Korra, but or some people even like her more than Aang just because of how badass she is. She is an 8-cost legendary creature, human avatar. During your turn, Avatar Kyoshi has hexproof. At the beginning of combat on your turn, Earthbend 8, then untap that land. Then we have Heibai, Forest Guardian, kind of a throwback to the card we just showed you with the acorns. 4-cost legendary creature, Bear Spirit. When Heibai enters, reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a shrine card. You may put that card onto the battlefield, then shuffle, and by spending 1 of every color and tap for each legendary enchantment you control, create a 1/1 colorless spirit creature token with this token can't be blocked or be blocked by non-spirit token or non-spirit creatures. Then we have Toph, Earthbending Master, which is a 4-cost legendary creature, human warrior ally with landfall. Whenever the land you control enters, you gain an experience counter. Whenever you attack, Earthbend X, where X is the number of experience counters you have. Then we also have Descendants Path, and we have all the former avatars right there. We have, you know, I mean, the Water, Earth, and then Roku, and then I'm not sure who, I know who she is, but I don't know what her name is, and she hasn't had a card shown off yet for her, but I'm sure she'll get one in the future. This is a 3-cost enchantment. At the beginning of your upkeep, reveal the top card of your library. If it's a creature card that shares a creature type with a creature you control, you may cast it without paying its mana cost. If you don't cast it, put it on the bottom of your library. Then we're taking a look at the multicolored cards. So we have quite a few artworks for Ain at the Crossroads. It is a green, white, blue legendary creature, human avatar ally with flying. When Ain enters, look at the top 5 of your library. You may put a creature card with mana value 4 or less from among them onto the battlefield. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in random order. When another creature you control leaves the battlefield, transform Ain at the beginning 4/4 of the next upkeep, and then as flying land creatures you control have vigilance. At the beginning of combat on your turn, Earthbend 2. Now, I like these artworks. This is kind of a lazy one just because it's just literally the same exact card, but he's just glowing in his avatar state. But this is really, really cool here. And like I said down like before, if you want to know where you can get all these different kind of artworks, please click on the link in the description. It'll tell you exactly where you can get them. Then we have Azula Cunning Usurper. She's a 5-cost legendary creature, human noble rogue with Firebending 2. When Azula enters, target opponent exile a non-token creature they control. Then they exile a non-land card from their graveyard. During your turn, you may cast cards exiled with Azula, and you may cast them as though they had flash. Mana of any type can be spent to cast those spells. And then we have the Dai Li Agents, which is a 5-cost creature, human soldier. When this creature enters, Earthbend 1, then Earthbend 1. Whenever this creature attacks, each opponent loses X life and you gain X life, where X is the number of creatures you control with +1/+1 counters on them. Then you have Dragonfly Swarm. I don't remember these guys at all. I'm going to assume that it was with that same filler episode with the with Iroh at the very end there, maybe it wasn't, I'm not sure, but I know like Aang was helping make a zoo of some kind, and that probably is where this is. But let me know down in the comments below. But it's a 3-cost creature, dragon insect, flying ward 1. This creature powers is equal to the number of non-creature non-land cards in your graveyard. When this creature dies, if there's a lesson card in your graveyard, draw a card. Then we have Earth King Lieutenant, which is a 2-cost creature, human soldier ally with trample. When this creature enters, put +1/+1 counter on each other allied creature you control. Whenever another ally you control enters, put +1/+1 counter on this creature, which I think like that's a pretty powerful effect for just being a 2-cost, but let me know down in the comments below. Then we have Fire Lord Azula, which is a 4-cost legendary creature, human noble with Firebending 2. Whenever you cast a spell while Fire Lord Azula is attacking, copy that spell. You may choose new targets for that copy. Now, once again, we have this cool looking artwork, and just hold on a second because this is really cool. We have Fire Lord Zuko here, and they're just facing off against each other, and there's actually the one explosion in the center. I completely missed to put that together, but it is a 3-cost legendary creature, human noble ally, Firebending X, where X is Fire Lord Zuko's power. Whenever you cast a spell from exile, and whenever a permanent you control enters from exile, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. Then you have Guru Fathic, which is a 4-cost legendary creature, human monk ally. When Guru Pathic enters, look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may reveal a lesson, saga, or shrine card from among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. Whenever you cast a lesson, saga, or shrine spell, put a +1/+1 counter on another target creature you control. Then we have Hama the Bloodbender, super sick looking card once again. Her in kind of like that swampy area facing up against Guitar with the full moon in the background. Super cool, and I like that they got her right. You know, she's in her firebending outfit. But she's a legendary creature, human warlock. When Hama enters, target opponent mills 3 cards, exile up to 1 non-creature, non-land card from that player's graveyard. For as long as you control Hama, you may cast the exiled card during your turn by waterbending X rather than paying its mana cost, where X is its mana value. Then we have my boy, probably the most popular character in Avatar Last Airbender, Honestly, I think most people do say Iroh is their favorite character, but it's Iroh Grand Lotus, who is a 6-cost legendary creature, human noble ally with Firebending 2. During your turn, each non-lesson instant and sorcery card in your graveyard has flashback. The flashback cost is equal to that card's mana cost. During your turn, each lesson card in your graveyard has flashback 1. And you see all the White Lotus members. You have Boomy, Iroh, Paku. Then you have the sword bending guy, or not sword bending, just the sword master guy. And we also have John or something, maybe. I don't know, but he's the one who taught a quote-unquote firebending. But then you have this cool looking art of just Iroh, like with the sun and the flames and the mountain in its back. It's just super cool artwork. And we have the Lion Turtle, which is a 3-cost legendary creature, Elder Cat Turtle, with Vigilance Reach. When the Lion Turtle enters, you gain 3 life. It can't attack or block unless there are 3 or more lesson cards in your graveyard, and you can tap to add 1 mana of any color. You have this alternate artwork right here, once again with like the body parts. Then we have Ozai the Phoenix King, which is a 6-cost legendary creature, human noble, with Trample, Firebending 4, Haste. If you were to lose unspent mana, that mana becomes red instead. Ozai has flying and indestructible as long as you have 6 or more unspent mana. Then you have this cool artwork once again. Let me know which one's your favorite art. Just like, do you like these kind of arts more, or do you like the black ones more? I like, you probably noticed this, but I love these right here. Then we have Sokka, Tenacious Tactician, which is a 4-cost legendary creature, human warrior ally with Menace and Prowess. Other allies you control have Menace and Prowess, and whenever you cast a non-creature spell, create a 1/1 white ally creature token. And my guy has a very sharp chin in this right here, but... Then we have Sun Warriors, which is a 4-cost creature, human warrior ally with Firebending X, where X is the number of creatures you control, and by spending 5 you can create a 1/1 white ally creature token. Then we have Uncle Iroh, a 3-cost legendary creature, human noble ally with Firebending 1, lesson spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. Then we have White Lotus Reinforcement. We have everyone here, but well, actually we don't know who these 2 are, but maybe these are all just random people. But White Lotus Reinforcements, 3-cost creature, human soldier ally with Vigilance. All other allies you control get +1/+1. Then we have Katara the Fearless, which is a 3-cost legendary creature, human warrior ally. If a triggered ability of an ally you control triggers, that ability triggers an additional time. We've seen that effect before on several cards. Then we have Avatar Aang, and I love this artwork. This looks a little bit creepy, not gonna lie. I mean, he looks just terrifying. I don't know. Let me know if you agree with that. But he is a legendary creature, human avatar ally with flying and firebending 2. Whenever you waterbend, earthbend, firebend, or airbend, draw a card. Then if you've done all 4 this turn, transform Avatar Aang. We do have other artworks for Avatar Aang. However, this is just different artwork. Then we have Lifelong Friendship, 2-cost, instant. Search your library for a creature card, reveal that card, put it into your hand, then shuffle. Really adorable card. I mean, Appa literally just scoops up the apple and tackles Aang. It's super cute. This is also Eldamari's Call. Then we have Sokka and Suki, favorite couple here. 3-cost legendary creature, human warrior ally. Whenever Sokka and Suki or another ally you control enters, attach up to 1 target equipment you control to that creature. Whenever an equipment you control enters, create a 1/1 white ally creature token. Then we have colorless artifacts and lands. There's not too many, so I just included them all right here. We have Energy Bending, which is a 2-cost instant lesson. Lands you control gain all basic land types until end of turn. Draw a card. Zuko's Exile, 5-cost instant lesson. Exile target artifact, creature, or enchantment is controller creates a clue token. Then you have Trusty Boomerang, which is a 1-cost artifact equipment. Equipped creature has 1, tap target creature, return Trusty Boomerang to its owner's hand. Obviously it has that boomerang effect then, equip 1. Then we have White Lotus Tile. We all recognize that art, just the White Lotus. I don't know if we've learned about them from the first time in the desert, right before they see the Wan Shi Tong. You know, in the village with like just a little bit of ice left. But anyways, artifact. This artifact enters tapped. By tapping it, you can add X mana of any one color, where X is the greatest number of creatures you control that have a creature type in common. Then we have all the basic lands here. Maybe we'll get more, but we have Waterfall, like the Lion Turtle. We have Secret Tunnel. Then we also have the plains and swamps right here. I believe this might be below. I think Ba Sing Se. I could be wrong though, but I'm looking, and I don't see Momo on either of these two, but if you do, let me know down in the comments below. Then we have the Boy in the Iceberg, also known as Dark Depths. Legendary Snowland. The Boy in the Iceberg enters with 10 ice counters on it. Remove an ice counter from the Boy in the Iceberg. When the Boy in the Iceberg has no ice counters on it, sacrifice it. If you do, create Meritlarg, a legendary 20/20 black avatar creature token with flying and indestructible. Then we have Volcano of Roku's Island, also known as Valkut, the Molten Pinnacle with land. This land enters tapped. Whenever a mountain you control enters, if you control at least 5 other mountains, you may have this land deal 3 damage to any target. Add red. So that was a quick look at some of the cards we just saw, or were just recently announced. Let me know down in the comments below if there's any chase cards you have of among them, which are your favorite artworks. And of course, while you're commenting and scrolling down to the comments section, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you guys have a good one. Tutor out.